one that keeps us close. I've seen a smile convey I love you. I'm proud of who you are.
Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And wow, we got a wonderful, wonderful show coming your way today. We got this guest been on a couple of times before, always bringing extremely knowledgeable information that's going to help us out in whatever we're doing. And, I tell you, sometimes, we daydream and we get caught up in situations or circumstances where, we just can't think right at the time. This young man here is going to talk to us about what causes those things and some of the ways that we can help clear our mind. But before we go off into that, I can't do anything without bringing on the co-host and executive producer, Dr. Michelle Cooley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. And yes, we loved having this guest back as a returning guest. He's been on our show a couple of times. And you're right, he has lots of educational information that will help all of you and just enlighten you and, again, educate you. So we're excited, James.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back, Michelle. We just got back from New York last night, and I'm still riding the high of the excitement. But New York is different. It's different, if I must say so.
Well, you got to be from there, born and raised. If you're not from there, you can't really embrace the whole thing, but my hometown, so love it, miss it, going back.
I'm excited about the show today, Michelle. Can you please introduce the title of the show, purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely magnificent guest that we got on today?
Yes. The title of today's show is called Clear Mind, Clear Life, Overcoming Brain Fog with Lifestyle Changes. And we're having a sit-down discussion with Udo Erasmus. He is a health and wellness expert, author, and co-founder of Udo's Choice supplement brand. He's going to be discussing the prevalence and impact of brain fog, his holistic approach, and the key components of the Erasmus protocol. Basically, he's going to delve into the specifics of the protocol and targeted supplementation for brain health. So let's talk a little bit about this guest again. Returning guest, Udo's pioneering work in health and wellness started over 40 years ago. As a prominent voice of the healthy fats oils movement, he raised manufacturing standards of food oils, including flax oil. In 1994, he co-founded the Udo's Choice supplement brand, a global leader in cutting-edge health products specializing in healthy oils, probiotics, digestive enzymes, and greens. He's an accomplished author of several books, including Fats That Heal, Fats That Kill, with 250,000 plus copies sold. With an extensive education in biochemistry and biology and a master's degree in counseling psychology, he's impacted millions of lives by delivering his fresh message on how to achieve perfect health. Please welcome back to the show, Mr. Udo Erasmus.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Udo, it's always a pleasure having you on, my friend. Always a pleasure. So Udo, I want to get started with this because I believe that our listeners and our viewers and wherever you're watching this at, if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching it on. And I tell you, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Udo, for the folks that did not see you the last couple of times on the show, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit more about you and what make you click?
Yeah, I started life pretty messy. I was born during the Second World War in Europe, and I was a refugee kid when I was 2.5 years old in the winter of 45, and we were fleeing from the communists who were chasing us in tanks and trucks, and we were on horse-drawn hay wagons on dirt roads, no military presence. And the Allies, the good guys, we always think of the Allies as the good guys because they were our allies. Well, they were using us as target practice, and they were shooting at us from planes. And so I don't remember a lot because I was 2.5, but I remember not feeling safe and never knowing what I could count on. And part of why that was a really gift, an early gift. I didn't think of it that way then, but when I look back, it made me look for what works, how things work, what's true, what can I depend on. Yeah, that's pretty much been with me all my life. I love to find out how what's true, and I like to look where things aren't clear, and particularly that's true for anything to do with human nature. We are what we need to know best if we want to have a good life, and it's what we know least, because most of what we do is we're always out there somewhere interacting with the environment, interacting with people, or in our head thinking about this and thinking about that. Why did they say that? Why are they doing that to me? And what if? And all of that. So we're spending so much time in that we spend very little time getting quiet like a scientist would, getting quiet, still, breathing quietly, and feeling what it feels like to be alive. Because, oh my God, when you feel what it feels like to be alive, you have complete peace in the core of your being, and that peace is infinite. And your actual individual essence is unconditional, empowering love. Now, how many human beings are there on the planet who actually know that from their own experience? Not that many. And then out of that comes inspiration. And then out of that comes, oh my God, I feel so cared for. Let me just help where I can to make life easier, to make pain less, to make joy more, for as many people, as many creatures on this planet as I can.
Wow. Udo, so you've been in the health industry for so long and you have done so many great things. What do you love about the health and wellness industry the most?
Well, because a couple of things. One is, if you want quality of life, it has to be based on knowing something about health. Because if you do what's unhealthy, you're not going to get health from it, right? Hello, right? So that's one thing. But the other thing is that health involves every part of your nature and nature. So under the umbrella of health, I can talk about the environment. I can talk about the social systems. I can talk about protection and safety. I can talk about physical. I can talk about, and then again, I can go deeper into this inspiration and the unconditional love that we are, because unconditional love cannot get sick and never dies. So there's something inside of us that's eternal and indestructible. And peace cannot be broken down because it's formless to begin with. So under the umbrella of health, they all affect health. Everything affects health. So under health, I can go in any direction and learn what is true about just about everything. So I like its inclusiveness.
Wow. So today, the title of the show is Clear Minds, Clear Life, Overcoming Brain Fog, Lifestyle Changes.
Yeah.
Why was it so important that you talk about this topic today? And tell our viewers and our listeners what they're gonna get out of this?
Yeah. Okay. So, well, when you got foggy brain, it's not a good quality of life. But then you can ask yourself, well, why am I feeling foggy? Where did my brain fog come from? Because you've had clear moments in your life. Well, they were based on something. And your unclear moments in your life, they're also based on something. And there's a lot of brain fog going on these days. And because brain fog can be caused physically, can be caused mentally, can be caused emotionally, socially, can be caused environmentally, can be caused by being disconnected from the clarity at the core of our own being. So there's lots of different reasons why you can get brain fog. And if we can address them all, you're going to have a really good life.
Can you tell our viewers exactly what brain fog is?
I think the name is it's very descriptive. Brain fog. You feel you're not thinking straight. You're not sharp. Maybe you're tired, and he's like, you want to sleep, but you just got out of bed. It's like hard to make decisions. It's like, it's like, so brain fog is a very descriptive term. There isn't like a category. It's not like heart attack. Heart attack has a very specific definition. What's brain fog? Well, they haven't nailed down what is the cause of brain fog, because it has many different causes. Anything that's out of line with your nature or with nature and your nature can get you brain fog. Could be even being around too many contradicting opinions, like you were talking about New York, maybe. Like everybody has an opinion. They're all over the map. They not necessarily have a good foundation in reality, right? And then you go around that and they say, well, he says that and he says that. And he says, you should be taller, you should be shorter, you should eat meat, no, you should eat vegetables. And everybody's telling you all this stuff, and they all say it with great conviction, and you just get confused.
Wow. So getting confused, and that happens all the time, because if we go by all of these incoming ideas and thoughts, that could clog our mind, because we're trying to react to each and every last one of those. I'll tell you what, Udo, we're going to take a station break. Yeah. We're going to come back. We're going to pick it up, and we're going to go deeper and deeper in this topic. And if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to go to the platform that you're on and ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break. I never wanna leave. Yeah, I'm right where I wanna be. It's something you and me, and I can't get rid of this feeling. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Just like a
chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
I've seen a smile convey I love you. I'm proud of who you are. The one that keeps us close when we're apart. Walking from the darkness of all that we've been through. It seems that there might be a way to leave behind the loneliness we've known and live again life of unity.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and my absolutely wonderful guest here, Udo. I've been on the show, just like I mentioned. He always bring it. He always bring a great topic. He always bring things that we need to be cautious of, and that can help us out when we feel in certain ways, and we think that we're having major problems when all we have to do is just sit back, take a deep breath, like you said in the beginning of the show, relax, think things through, and get your thoughts right. Get your thoughts right. So Udo, what are some of the symptoms? I'm not saying it's a major problem with brain fog, but what are some of the symptoms that people need to be cautious of when it comes to understanding that, yes, our mind is clouded and we have to be able to get through all of these different things?
Well, I think brain fog, most people self-diagnose on that one. Yeah, I feel foggy today, because you feel like it. It's like you have your symptoms. You don't feel you're up for it. You feel lazy. You feel sometimes a little depressed. You're a little confused. You just, you don't want to really do much. And fundamentally, it's always, what does it come from? See, something's not right. We talked about thinking, but maybe something's not right in your body. And in the body, it's always, your body has building blocks, essential nutrients, 42 of them. And they're required for normal, healthy body function. If you're deficient of some of them, then that'll affect your brain. For instance, magnesium, 80% of the population doesn't get enough magnesium. And magnesium, very important for heart health, for circulation, but also for energy production in the body, and also for thinking. Omega-3s, 99% of the population doesn't get enough omega-3s. Well, in your brain, they form a big part of your brain. So if your brain ain't made right, why would you expect it to work right? So that's another one. Vitamin C and niacin are very good for circulation. Very good. All of the colored vegetables have antioxidants in them. They prevent damage done to tissue by free radicals. So, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Not enough iodine will make you tired because you won't make enough thyroid hormone. The B vitamins are required for energy production. So it could be not enough of any of the 42 essential nutrients, or on the other side of it, it could be toxicity from molecules like pesticides and side effects of pharmaceutical drugs. And I know brain fog these days, you hear a lot about brain fog caused by either COVID or another viral infection. If you got a big snot-nosed cold, you kind of feel a little woozy. That's brain fog, right? And also people as side effects from various kinds of drugs and injections. So brain fog is widespread as a sign of toxicity, as well as a sign of deficiency. And the third one is brain fog as a symptom from poor digestion, because when your digestion isn't working, you don't get all your building blocks and you create toxicity in your own digestive tract.
Wow. So Udo, with a person having underlying medical conditions, and if they're not getting the 42, most of the 42 essential nutrients, will that contribute to brain fog as well?
Yep. It's anything. Look, your brain, just like the rest of your body, just like your immune system, just like your cardiovascular system, all of that's made out of food, water, air. Food, water, and air. That's your whole body is made out of that. Well, so is your brain. If the food, water, and air ain't right, so even not enough oxygen can give you brain fog. Not enough water, getting dehydrated, can give you brain fog. So there's food, water, air, and then not getting the foods right, either by too little of the right stuff and too much of the wrong stuff, can get you brain fog too. Sugar highs and sugar lows can get you brain fog. I mean, fried foods can get you brain fog because you damage the oils in your frying pan, and then the oils damage you when you put them in your body. And then, your brain does not work as good on fried oils as it does on seeds and nuts. Right?
Oh yeah.
So there are many issues. If you're not clear about the purpose of your life, you'll get brain fog too. That's why sitting still and feeling what it feels like to be alive is a really good idea.
I really enjoyed when you said that, just feeling, just understanding that you're alive and just feeling great about yourself and just clearing your mind. Many times we have to meditate just to get all other confusion away and just sit back and be in the moment for a while.
That's because the peace that is at the core of your being and the life energy that you are, they never get confused. Those two never have brain fog. You could be sick in the body and you could be in that and you could do your meditation lying down in your bed and there would be complete love and clarity there, because those can't get confused. But everything that's got bits and pieces that have to fit together, that gets confused. It's our thoughts or our molecules.
Udo, you got some product. I done used a couple of yours. Actually, I got a 16-ounce bottle or your vitamins. And
it's actually 17 ounces.
17 ounces, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about that, and if that product, that particular one, can help them out in balancing their diet, their mindset, and just etc.
Yeah, the oil's called Udo's oil, and you find it in the health food stores, in the fridge, in the supplement section. And it's in a brown glass bottle in a box, and it contains omega-3 and omega-6 essential fatty acids that are not damaged because we use a very, very tight process for making them, so they don't get damaged. Your oils are the most damaged foods you eat because the industry doesn't pay attention to that. And then you put them in the frying pan and damage them even more. So you don't use this oil for frying. You add it to foods after they come off the heat. And that gets you, when you take enough, which is about a tablespoon, optimum might be a tablespoon per 50 pounds of body weight per day. and you mix it in food and you spread its intake over the course of the day. When you optimize your intake of omega-3 and omega-6, you have optimized your intake of 2 of the 42 essential nutrients. And that omega-3 happens to be the one that is very important in brain function, but lots of other functions too in every cell in your body. Regulatory, hormone-like regulatory functions in every cell in the body. And it happens to be the one that most people are not getting enough of. So that one just by itself addresses the single most important problem in our nutrition. More health problems come from damaged oil than any other part of nutrition. And more health benefits come when you make an oil change and get yourself the oils that are made with health in mind, and you stop using damaged oils. And brain fog is just one of the problems that comes from not getting enough of the essential omega-3 in your diet.
Oh yeah.
That was a long answer to a short question.
But inflammatory plays a major role in the brain.
Of course. Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. When again, inflammation, what causes inflammation? Well, either you're not getting something you need, or you're getting something you shouldn't have in there. It's mostly from toxicity. And then what happens is, like if you get mercury, let's say you get mercury in your body, or lead, or cadmium or something. Those are toxic minerals, toxic metals. If you get those in your body, or you get pesticides in your body, or you get damaged oils in your body, there's so many possibilities. Then what happens is your immune system identifies them as not belonging in the body. And it then creates inflammation to try to isolate them, and to try to find a way of breaking them down or getting rid of them. And the inflammation is a sign that your immune system is having to deal with something. And probably you put it in there, right? And that's what I think the key is. Don't put things in your body that don't belong in it. Live in line with nature and your nature. Everything you eat should not be processed, but according to life, which made the laws for health, life made those in nature, should be fresh, whole, raw, organic for human beings, probably mostly plant-based, right? It shouldn't be cooked or fried. It shouldn't have nutrients removed like we do with white sugar and white flour, and the oils that are not made with health in mind. They're in plastic bottles, so plastic gets into your body. There are pesticides in the oil, so pesticides get in your body because they're not organic, right? If you go fresh, whole, raw, organic, more plant-based, then a lot of the things you get inflammation from end up not being in your diet, and you end up not stuffing them into your body and making yourself sick by them.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
yeah. I love your products, by the way. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about the Udo holistic approach to combating brain fog.
Yeah. Well, what the holistic program is living in line with nature and your nature. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, a stillness practice. I think that's central, that you take time every day, not to do, which is what we usually are into, right? But you actually spend time to be, because you can do without, you can be without doing, but you can't do without being. So being is actually your foundation. That's where your wholeness lives. That's where your peace is. That's where your wisdom is. That's where your joy resides. That's where, oh my God, I'm alive. Dust, water, and earth got mixed up with a little sunshine, and here I am. And I get to have the human experience. I can laugh, and I can sing, and I can dance, and I can make love, and I can sleep, and I can run around the block, and I can do all these things for the time that I have. Oh my God, that's amazing, right? And to take time to appreciate that we were given that as a gift, because nobody earned that. You know, you can earn some wages doing something for somebody, right? But you didn't earn having a life. A total gift from the universe, whatever you call it, total gift. And if you don't enjoy this incredible gift you have, nobody else can enjoy it for you. So then it's a wasted gift. So that's number one, is the holistic program. Spend time by yourself. You discover the peace and the love and the inspiration, energy. You find that you have energy, because when you're in love and you feel cared for, and you have a foundation, you have energy to do what needs to be done. And then you want to help. And whenever you're helping, that's a good thing, because it feels really good in your heart when you help, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you feel that good about being alive, then you don't want to put stuff in your body that doesn't belong in there. So then it's much easier, instead of saying, oh God, do I have to give up my hamburgers? Oh God, do I have to give up my booze? Oh God, yeah, but what about these drugs? They make me high. No, when you're high on life is the best drug to be high on. So you do stillness practice, get high on life, and then you say, oh my God, I want to be around as long as I can. And what do I need to do? Well, then you need to eat properly. Then you need to eat fresh. Then you go whole foods instead of processed foods, fresh instead of old stuff, organic instead of pesticide sprayed, fresh, whole, raw, and raw instead of cooked and fried. And you start eating more in that direction, because that's what gives you an extended life and better health, physical health. So you can enjoy this incredible gift that you've been given even more for longer, right?
Hey,
And
Udo,
then,
why don't you hold that thought? Because I don't want our viewers and our listeners to miss any of this approach. We're gonna take a station break.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back as you see.
All right.
This guest right here is bringing it, and then I tell you, if you follow his guidelines, if you follow his approach, you're gonna feel good, you're gonna look good, and you're gonna bring happiness to others, because your mindset is gonna be good. It's your life. We're gonna take a station break and come back with some more Udo in a minute after this break. It's your life. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And you know what? I almost missed the break because I was offering to Udo's philosophy on how we can go about living good, feeling good, and just loving life. It's like he mentioned it. Wake up and just love the life because you got it. And you need to enjoy it to the best of your ability. And so he was talking about his approaches. I want him to go back, touch base a little bit on the first two before we go back into the third one, just in case you get just not tuning in and you might have missed some of this outstanding knowledge that he is providing us. So Udo, can you just recap a little bit?
Yeah, peace and love, right?
Peace and love.
sounds like a hippie, but it's actually true that the core, like, there's peace everywhere on the planet. Even in a war, the war is carried out in peace, because peace is it's like space, right? You can put all kinds of things in space, but space is not affected by what you put in it. Peace is like that, only it's a feeling too. Well, you get to that peace that is everywhere, but you find it and it becomes real for you when you bring your focus into the core of your being, because that's your access to universal peace. That is your universal nature. That's where you come from. That is where your God lives. And when you experience that peace, oh my God, it's like everything's cool. Oh my God, no problems anywhere. Wow. You feel content. You feel cool. You're calm. Wow, how nice is that? And then in that universal nature, your life is a fraction of solar energy that is stored in plants that you eat. Then you break them down, you break those molecules down that store that solar energy, and that's your life energy. And your life energy is unconditional love for your body. Loves your body, even if you're cursing and swearing and you hate everything, life is completely, totally, 100% unconditionally loving you, and making sure that all the cells work together and making sure that all the molecules they need, you throw it in your mouth and life takes care, does everything else after that. Make sure your toenails grow. Why that's important is debatable, but make sure your hair grows if you have any, right? Make sure that your bones stay strong. Make sure that if you do exercise, your muscles and bones become stronger. Life is doing all that with minimal requirement from you. Wow, that's really cool, right? So this is unconditional love. And when you take your awareness into that unconditional love, you feel so cared for that it's not about you anymore. It's not like, oh my God, it's not about me anymore. And if I don't feel cared for, I know where to go to feel cared for, because it's always there in you all the time, no matter what's going on, roaming around in your head, right? So then you can go back there. And if you feel cared for, then you look around and say, okay, it's not about me anymore. Where can I help? How can I do something that gets less pain or more joy for people? And doing that feels good in the heart too, right? So there's like the first and second. This is like in every human being. You talk about racial things and you talk about political things, and they're completely missing the point, because in every human being, no matter their culture or their nation or their color or their gender or their age or their whatever else there is, their philosophy, their religion, whatever it is, every human being has this all-encompassing peace as their foundation, and this unconditional empowering love as their individual essence. That's who you are. This is not like, let's all be nice to each other. That's a head trip, right? You are that love if you take the time to be quiet and go there. And you feel it. And when you feel it, it becomes real. And all of a sudden, you look at all the people in the world and all the animals in the world and all of the trees and the flowers and the plants in the world. You say, oh my God, this is all holy stuff. Oh my God, this is divine. Oh my God, this is so incredible. And then when you start looking at it, you start having religious experiences just looking at nature because it's so unbelievably beautiful.
We got a question.
And you have that life in common with everybody and everything. So your family, everything's family. And why would you not treat someone with love when love is your nature?
You got to treat everybody with love. I mean,
yeah, you can't even not do that if it's your nature.
That's a lot of people, Udo. A lot of people sit back and they worry about everything.
Yeah,
and not worry about themselves, meaning that they don't understand because they won't give themselves a chance to love themselves.
Yeah,
learn to take everything in. We got a couple of questions from Dr. Clem Johnson here, Clem Tech LLC. How do you know when life is working for you?
Well, life is always working for you. But I think the question is more, well, what kind of goal have you set for yourself? Because life is already working for you, right? So if you say, well, I will say life is working for me if I make $1 million. See, you may never get the $1 million, but life is still working for you because you're not the $1 million. So the question is, it's more, I would ask a different question. I would say, what does it feel like to be alive? What does the love that this crazy white guy is talking about, what does that actually feel like? And he says it's in me. Is it really in me? Yes, sit down and be still and be quiet and breathe and let your focus go inside, because our focus is usually everywhere, all over, wandering all over the place into places we shouldn't even put it, right? And we miss, I'll be happy when I make $1 million. I just made that up in my head, right? So then I say, okay, my life depends on that coming true. So I'm going to not have a great life. And even if I make $1 million, I'll have a good time for about 3 days. Say, I did it. And then after that, something in my chest will just still feel uneasy. And it's only because I'm not bringing my focus to where the goods are. Because feeling the love in your heart has value that, we're biological beings. All our goods, all our best is in our own nature. It's already there. It's already built in, right? And to miss that, because you focus, where you're free to focus anywhere you want to, over there's a watch and over there's the door and over there's something and behind me is a bunch of stuff. And I got, Dr. Cooley on the other show on my computer here, so I can go and focus anywhere I want. But I want to focus. If I want to have a really good life without brain fog, I want my life to be focused in the space that my body occupies. And I want to always be present in that space, even when I'm talking to other people, even when I'm doing the things I need to be doing. And I might do them a little bit more slowly if I remember to stay in that space, but I'll do a better job. And there would be less to fix afterwards because I was sloppy, because I wasn't feeling the love.
My friend, and we're going to talk about this on the other side of the break. We're going to talk about, you just turned 81.
I know, yeah, 81. I'll be 82 in next May.
And you got so much energy, so focused. And all the things that you're doing, your research, your business, your products, and every time I see and talk to you, it's always a smile on your face. I want you to hold that thought, because we're going to talk about what makes you click. Why are you so happy? Why should everybody be happy and enjoy life all the time? So we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we really dive into this. Yes, your life. And I'll see you shortly after the break. Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be on it, to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z, and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection. Hello, welcome back to Show Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and my main man here, Udo, is bringing it, and he's inspiring and he's helping us out. And I would have never known until he told me that he was 81 years old, because he brings so much energy, clarity, mentally, all of these great things. A lot. As we age, sometimes a lot of times we just want to just sit back and not do anything and just crawl over in a corner and just not be active. But not this man. This man right here is doing it all. So Udo, you got to tell our viewers and our listeners.
Yeah, I want to finish. I want to finish on the how do I know life is working for you? Working for me? Okay. So you might as well assume that life is working for you, because if life was not working for you, you would not be alive to ask that question. It's that basic, right?
Absolutely.
And if you think life is working for you because some cockamamie thing you came up with in your head comes to pass, no, that's not how you know life is working for you. That's just your own head trip. Right? But life is working for you. That's why you're alive. Right? And then the question is, how can you bring the focus? How can you become friends with your life? Your life is amazingly generous to you. How can you become friends with it? How can you become a little closer with that? Because the closer you come with it, the more of that generosity you experience, and the more cared for you feel. And that's what everybody wants, right? Oh, my mama didn't look after me good enough. Oh, my dad didn't look at, oh, they didn't that or that. No, life is taking perfect care of you through all your dramas and all your traumas. Give life just a little bit of credit for making you amazing. Okay, now I'm done with that.
I love that. I love how you put that. Give life a little bit credit for making you amazing, because each one of us, I believe, we are all amazing. We all have purpose, and we all have to understand what that is, and we all have to just make sure that we want to be around the next day, and all the things that you talked about. Just a roadmap on how we can have happiness in our life, more so than being sad or whatever.
Yeah, and purpose is always about love, and love is always about helping.
Absolutely. So Udo, how do you keep a smile on your face every time I talk to you? You're always doing things. You're always just bringing joy. What is the secret? And you just turned 81 in this past May.
Okay, well, there's 100 ways to answer the question, but let's say it this way. I started off in a really bad situation when I was a little kid, right? So I can smile all the time because everything is better than that, right? So that's one way to look at it, right? The other way is because it rubbed my nose about how bad things can get. I've always looked for how can I make things better in whatever is my sphere of influence. Whether it was my family and I was the joker because I was a little kid and I couldn't beat anybody and couldn't run fast to get away with anything. So I broke tension with humor all the time. And so I got my nose rubbed in how bad it can get. So for me, it's always been about how can I make it better? Or you look at something in the world, it's like, well, it could be better than that. You got a war going on in one place and you got a war going on in another place. No, you know what? It could be better than that. What can I do that will make it better? And I like to say on the side of every argument, whether it's conservatives and liberals or Democrats and Republicans or Russia and Ukraine or Israel and Palestine, I like to be on the side of life. Because life is on both sides. And life is taking care of even really people who do really, 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 really stupid things. Life is still loving them unconditionally. And sometimes you wish life wouldn't, but it does, right? So you have people in jail, they'll be there for life for whatever they did or didn't do, right? So they're in jail and life loves those people unconditionally, makes their breath go in and out, makes their food digest, takes care of their bones and their teeth and their hair and their skin and everything, and does it lifelong without taking a day off, without interruption, without going on strike for a raise, without being vindictive if you start to curse life because you're having a bad day. It just continues to love you, love you, love you, love you, because that is its nature. And you are that life and you are that nature. Wow. Now imagine 8 billion people knowing that by their own experience of it, because it's there for every one of them. Imagine 8 people feeling so cared for that they just want to help. Do you know what? This would be a different word. This would be a very different world, right? And it's the same thing is true for every human being. So it's not even like you can't pick sides on this one because everybody it's in. Yeah, you pick a side inside. That's the side I pick, inside.
Inside. We got a question from Dr. Clem again. I think he heard a tail end of your plant-based recommendations, and he is asking what are some of the recommended foods?
Right. So. Yeah, and that goes back to, so what do I do on a day-to-day basis? I start my day with quiet. I want to, you know, I say I'm checking in to see if I'm still there, because if I'm not there anymore, no point getting up. So I check in. Oh yeah, there's the peace. Oh yeah, there's the love. Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. It's gonna be a good day, right? Because that starts good, right? And I take the time to start it, and then I try to stay in that space and drag it into the world with me. And then I don't eat till noon. That's just like, I haven't always been like that, but I just pay attention to what my body tells me. Start eating at noon, eat between 12 and 8. Don't eat, 16 days fasting, 8 hours eating. 8 hours is enough to eat. And then what do I eat? Fresh, whole, raw, organic. I love broccoli. And I get tahini, that's organic tahini. I dump the tahini oil, which is sesame oil. I put my oil in it because it's a better oil. It's a better balanced oil. And then I dip my vegetables in that and I eat it. Right? Very, very simple. I eat seeds and nuts, organic. I have tons of spices. Probably my favorite one's turmeric, which is probably the world's best spice. But I love ginger, and I eat cumin, and I eat cayenne and cinnamon and black seed. And let's see, what else is there? Amla, which is an Indian spice, and curry, which is a very beautiful spice combination, also from India. So I mix all that in my tahini. And then I dip my broccoli in tahini, but I eat carrots and I eat pepper sometimes. And
so you eat all the good stuff. We're down to about the last 2 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Udo, can you tell our listeners where they can get some of your oil for cooking or just for nutrients? Where can they get it at? And what's the name of it? And tell them.
Oh, yeah. The oil is called Udo's oil. And it's in a brown glass bottle, in a box, in the fridge, in the supplement section, in the health food stores. You can also get it on Amazon, but I always tell people, go to the stores because they have it in the fridge. I don't know how Amazon does their business. So, and then I also work with probiotics, which are good for digestion. The one I use is called Super Bifido Plus. You'll find that in the same fridge where the oil is in the health food stores. And I also work with digestive enzymes, because when you cook foods, you destroy the enzymes in the raw food, and they then need to be replaced. And so that you take a load off your digestive system, and that frees your immune system to do its other job, and then you'll be much healthier if you do that. So and then I also use greens and some other products. But anyway, that's where you get them. That's where you get them.
That's where you get them. And we're going to make sure that they get there. Udo, we're down to the last few seconds of the show. My friend, it's always a pleasure, always having you on the show, because of what you bring and the education that you teach all of us. And I'm sure our listeners are getting a whole lot from this. So we got to have you back again real soon. Right. So I want to thank you for taking the time to come back on the show today. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank my viewers and our listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I tell you what, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Is your life.
Your life.